Did you like the scene? Actually, I did too. But we've all been sold the same story, that somewhere out there is the one. That love is a magical cosmic force that strikes us like lightning, completely by destiny. We believe we choose who we love, but what if we don't?
Here at Insights to Sight, we reveal what most people never see. Today, we're putting love under the microscope. We're going to dismantle the myth of the soulmate and ask a dangerous question. Do we actually have free will in love, or are our brains just chemically hijacked by millions of years of evolution? Let's find out. To understand love, we have to look past the poetry and look at the neurology. When you first fall in love, you aren't experiencing a spiritual awakening. You are experiencing a neurochemical storm. First, there's dopamine. It's the reward chemical. It's the exact same neurotransmitter released when someone gambles or consumes sugar. It makes you feel euphoric, energetic, and literally addicted to the presence of that specific person. Then, your brain gets flooded with norepinephrine, putting your body on high alert. Your heart races, your palms sweat, you can't sleep. But the real trick your brain plays on you involves serotonin. In the early stages of romantic love, your serotonin levels actually drop to levels similar to those found in patients with obsessive-compulsive disorder. That's why you can't stop thinking about them. It's not destiny. It's a temporary, biologically induced obsession. So, why does our brain do this to us? Why drug us into falling in love? The answer is brutally practical: survival. Evolution doesn't care about your happiness or your romantic fairy tales. It cares about the continuation of the species. That intense, passionate phase is designed purely to get two humans together. But that chemical high can't last forever. If it did, we'd die of exhaustion. As the dopamine storm settles, the brain deploys a new strategy: oxytocin and vasopressin. These are the bonding chemicals. They create feelings of deep attachment, security, and calm. From an evolutionary standpoint, these chemicals are designed to keep a couple together just long enough to raise vulnerable human offspring. This is the phase where people often panic. The spark fades, and they think they've fallen out of love. In reality, they're just coming down from a biological high. Which brings us back to our core question. If attraction is an evolutionary trap, and attachment is just a release of oxytocin, where is our free will? Are we just biological puppets acting out a script written by our DNA? Not entirely. The initial spark? That's biological. You don't choose who catches your eye or triggers that dopamine rush. But maintaining love? That happens in the cerebral cortex, the highest, most advanced part of your brain. Once the chemical storm fades, staying in love becomes a conscious daily decision. It requires empathy, communication, and compromise. Letting go of the soulmate myth might feel cynical at first, but I argue that the scientific truth is actually far more beautiful. True love isn't something that just happens to you. It isn't a magical spell you fall under. True love is looking at someone after the chemicals have faded, seeing their flaws, recognizing the sheer biological absurdity of it all, and saying, "I choose you anyway." And that choice, that conscious, deliberate choice, is the ultimate expression of human free will. What do you think? Are you a romantic or a realist? Let me know in the comments below. If this video gave you a new perspective, hit the like button and subscribe to Insights to Sight for more. Until next time, keep questioning everything.